You know, at this point, I can't tell whether participating in No Nut November is harder than waiting for a game like Halloween to come out in 2026. I'm gonna speak for every single ASM horror fan. We were all very excited till we saw this fucking logo appear on the screen. Now, yes, we do live in the age where searching stuff on the internet can definitely help, and yes, I am pretty much aware that Gun Media is a co-publisher, but that's a huge downgrade the more I think about it. Imagine being the head publisher of another IP, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and you abandon it to become a co-publisher for another game. Like, how, at this point, Gun Media is the new sneaker of the ASM horror developer genre. And Gun Media pretty much backstabbing Texas Chainsaw Massacre to become part of Halloween's co-publishing is like 9/11. Pretty much George Bush stabbing America in the back. But I'm gonna save the gun shit talk for later because it is part of the video. But I wanted to talk about why I do have a lot of faith in the Halloween game. And why is this kind of huge coming from someone like me? Well, if you don't know me, I'm like Gun Media's #1 fan. I love talking good stuff about them. They're so amazing. I love them. Now, let's get into the first take, which kind of goes with the topic I was talking about just now. And the first take, why I do think Halloween will do way better than most ASIMs did, is the fact that it's not being published by Gun Media. Gun Media's reputation is lower than my will to live at this point, and it is fantastic to see that. Now, this is where people either agree or disagree with me, and here we go. I'm gonna start praising Elphonic a little bit. I know Elphonic is a little bit shady as well, but way less shady than Gun Media. I feel like Elphonic actually does care about their products. Now, I do have to be careful with my wording, because right now it's pretty much like trying to disarm a nuclear bomb by having my snippet on the red wire, which isn't really the smart choice, but still, I'm gonna go in, YOLO. I do think they care about their games, because first of all, Killer Clowns, it was a failure, yes, but Elphonic stuck with the game till its anniversary pretty much. They updated the game, or they made a whole event dedicated to their game's anniversary, while the player base had only 2 digits on Steam. 2 digits, not 3 digits, 2 digits. Like 60 players max. And regularly, they're still giving love taps to their older games like Ghostbusters and even Predator Hunting Grounds. And I was a Predator Hunting Grounds from day 1 till Dante released. And all I have to say is my time spent on the game was very fun. And if both teams knew what they were doing, not only was the game very intense but fun, but I felt like this was one of the only ASIMs that I've played that felt very balanced between both sides, which balancing ASIMs is nearly impossible, by the way. So whether their player base is low or high, they still just care about their games, which I highly appreciate. Yeah, you can't call the games abandoned, but you don't really see a lot of developers returning to their old games to add content or even bother fixing stuff on it. So, you're still free to call Elphonic every slur in the dictionary you know, but trust me, I'd rather have them working on this game, both developing and publishing wise, than Gun Media with whatever team they come up with. Another reason why Halloween is gonna succeed, in my thoughts, is the fact that it's Halloween. It's literally one of, if not the biggest horror slasher franchise to exist next to Friday 13. And another thing is pretty much, no matter when you saw Michael Myers for the first time, no matter their age or whatever generation you're from, he makes wearing a mechanic suit with a mask look very badass, and I think that's the most important part. And even more, the fact that John Carpenter and Nick Castle are involved with this game, by the way. They were there since the start, and now they get to see what they made come to a game. That's fucking cool. Now, my third reason, and this is where it's gonna get a little low, controversial perhaps, but competition. I'm not gonna say straight up that Halloween is gonna kill DBD. Honestly, I'm gonna stick with my word that games shouldn't even compete with each other. Unfortunately, people are just so deluded to the point that every game is forced to compete against each other, so I may as well just play into the roles now and just say that Halloween is gonna kill DBD. No, just kidding. A person with one single brain cell can figure out that Halloween cannot kill a shit garbage game like Dead by Daylight. See, the way I see it with DBD players, they're gonna play the game, they're gonna try to figure out what the bully mechanics are. The moment the bully mechanics are gone, they're gonna return to Dead by Daylight, call Halloween a shit game, while touching generators more than the gender they have a sex preference to. That's how it went with Texas Chainsaw Massacre, by the way. The moment the developers added 10 seconds of stun resistance for both sides because of stun locks and shit, DBD players were literally fucking gone like ants getting sprayed. Which was kind of a good thing, because the amount of toxicity has extremely declined the moment that happened, so phew. But what about the competing part that I missed, which doesn't have to involve a DBD, because let's be honest, DBD is a garbage game on itself, and it will kill itself eventually. You just have to wait a little bit longer. But we are forgetting one thing. There's a Friday 13 game being developed right now. Now, we don't know anything about the Friday 13 game as of right now, besides it being developed, but if I had to guess, we're pretty much still we're already half over 2025. I assume that Friday 13 game will most likely either come out in 2026 as well, with the Halloween game, or a little bit later. But knowing, of course, games, their first year lifespan, they always go succeedingly smooth, I'd say. So let's metaphorically say Friday 13 comes out within that period as well, where Halloween is thriving. Then we'd have perfect competitors without Dead by Daylight being involved for once. Because why the fuck do we keep comparing these nice ASIM horror games to that garbage League of Legends ass game? For me, it's not even the competing part that counts, it's just a matter of having multiple ASIM horror games thrive next to each other. That's the importance for me, and not just sticking to one ASIM game, because the League of Legends one is garbage as fuck. Another reason why I really have a lot of faith right now with Halloween is the fact that the information we're getting provided, thank God that we actually have somebody that's providing information, unlike a certain company that uses their trademark words, is actually telling us stuff about the game that's being questioned. A lot of game companies till this day are forgetting a lot that communicating with your consumers is very important, which thank God is actually being utilized here. Well, nothing has been consumed yet, but if you want people to pre-order or buy your product right away, then the only way to make them do so is by convincing, which is doing very smoothly here, because confirming a story mode, confirming multiplayer, NPCs, literally the more a consumer knows about a product, the more likely they'll be invested in buying it, depending on what they're searching for. And with that, those are all the standpoints plus arguments I gave on why I do have a good feeling on Halloween. Now, we're still waiting for more news, of course, whether it's gameplay footage, another trailer, God knows what. There's still a long time before Halloween comes, which is hopefully less than a year, but honestly, quality over quantity, if we say so. And if we get some more news later on, then I'll definitely be making videos on it. So, with that out of the way, I thank you all for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to drop a like and a subscription for more Halloween news. And with that out of the way, I wish you guys a good day, and bye-bye.